Thank you, thank you. As for me, I'm quite happy to lose my job because then I can eat at Temple Street for another 2 days, you know. I'm going to Temple Street to eat after this, maybe tomorrow and so on. I love Hong Kong. I come here very often. And of course, with that, I really want to say thank you to our wonderful, gracious host. This was, by all counts, this event like this, a hybrid event is always not easy to organize. It actually took quite a short time. As you know, Dean is always busy. David is not so busy at all. But still, because when Dean is busy, then we can't really talk as much as we like. So in that short time, we're not talking about a few months, right? You end up doing a few weeks or a few days when you add up all the time together. And for that to be possible, obviously, it's not just CY and David, right? There's many, many people, in fact, more of other people involved, right? Our admin staff especially, from the various offices. The presidents were very busy, as you can tell. They have very important things to do. By any count, this is a smaller forum in respect to what they are attending to now globally at the Times Education and so on. But yet they took the time, I think, to craft their speech, to come, to make an effort to speak, and then rush off to another session. I think that says a lot. It is not just about, the political signaling of universities. I think because our leadership believe that the only way, and that the same way that CY and I and many of you believe that the only way for this to proceed is to embrace it. But to embrace it, you must make sure it doesn't get abused. And I think all of us are not just a member of public, we are actually inextricably involved because you are either a big analytic guy, a social scientist, or a computational person. So you are part of the story, We are not like a disinterested person looking and say, it's okay, I just don't do this. You are part of the story. So I personally feel quite strongly that we have a moral act as far as this issue is concerned, right? How we decide to talk to our students, our colleagues, and our leaders actually make a difference collectively on how this thing will progress. We talk a lot about ChatGPT, obviously because it's revolutionary and important, but I just want to remind ourselves that computational social sciences is much more than just generative artificial intelligence. So panel 2 is excellent. I love hearing from them. I also want to remind you that the reason for putting the two panels together is to be able to marry what is really exciting, involving the whole world now, generative AI, with what is the fundamental underlying bigger issues of computational social sciences, and one needs the other. Without the second panel of such exciting generative AI, I cannot get people interested in CSS. Without CSS, your generative AI will probably go haywire. Okay, so I think with that in mind, I hope you appreciate why we try to just in a short time put two panels that look a bit disparate together. Are we really talking about CSS or ChatGPT? Well, we are talking about what is happening, I think, to us, all of us, as we move forward. And with that, I just want to very quickly say, I think what matters that is hard to replace, I can think of many things, and that is number one, there's going to be happiness, well-being, feelings, meaning, affect. These are things which actually machines are quite far from us. And these are not just consciousness. Right? Many of you who study social science, human beings, will know that there is a distinction between consciousness, meaning, happiness, cognitive competence, and so on. So there are plenty of things I think that we care about. But in order for this to work, we will be replaced in our jobs and many other things if we don't focus on what things that matter. And I would argue that the only mindset and skill set that can make that difference going forward is adaptability. There's the ability to know that the responses that we have been firing in the light of stimuli may no longer be very effective now that used to be effective. And so we need to modify a bit of our responses, how we deal with student essays, how we deal with governments, how governments deal with members of public, and how academics deal with each other in terms of our disciplines and so on. I think we need to modify a little bit of those responses, and those are the same things we preach to others. That is the essence of adaptability, the ability and the willingness to modify your previous responses that used to be effective but may no longer be very effective now and may even be suboptimal. Now, once you recognize that ability, that adaptability, I think that will make a world of difference. And in fact, one of the research, if I'll end with that I've been doing on is how computational social sciences can model this sense of adaptability and resilience, giving all the data that we have. And with that, we need a leadership that is going to be principled and adaptive. We need researchers and practitioners that really care beyond yourself and your own profit and your own publication. And then you can talk about making sure that the next generation of scholars, practitioners, business leaders, policymakers, all will make a difference. And with that, of course, I have exactly the same feeling as CY, that this is only possible because of the help of a lot of people, including in Hong Kong on a public holiday, I think today, right? Supposed to be looking at dragons, boat festivals, people, muscular men rolling their boats, or eating some dumplings, rather than here listening to not so muscular man talking. But I think that the world of difference here is that you care too, right? And with that, I'm quite optimistic. And to our online audience listening in, a few hundred of you at least, I'm sure. Your lunch may not be as sumptuous as ours, so I don't know whether you're back. But if you are back, I hope the same message will go across, right? And thank you very much to our host, CUHK, for allowing SMU to be part of this. And we are very excited that you're part of our SMU Global Forum as well. And we hope that this collaboration, as our both presidents have said, right, will continue. Thank you very much.